Before it started. Hi, everybody. This is Stephen Frew. We talked a little bit. Let me remind you about a simple model of self-esteem that we've taught in schools and religious organizations all across the state of California. It's called the self-esteem model, and there are actually four pieces to it. One is self-awareness, and we'll in future podcasts we'll talk about that. We'll elaborate it. Self-awareness. Second one is self-encounter. Third one is self-disclosure, and the fourth one is self-resolution. I'll tell you how that works. I'm going to tell you a story, though, to get started on this little series. I was asked to do uh, uh, a series of teaching this model around the state of California with junior high school guidance counselors and high school guidance counselors, but mostly junior high school guidance counselors, with Wanda Earhart, who was the president of the Pupil Guidance Association, whatever the name of that group is. And Wanda was a delightful and engaging, wonderful partner to do it with. We traveled all over the state once a month and had 20 to 30 counselors for the full day for a Friday, and we worked on this model. Well, we has started with talking about how difficult it is to be a junior high school student. And Wanda was blowing up balloons while I was introducing, and she's blowing up balloons and tying them off. And she divided the room up. Maybe let's say, for example, there were 30 people, and she divided up into three groups, had them stand in circles, three circles of 10 people each, 8 people each. And she'd throw the balloons into the middle of the circle. And what would happen is people naturally, normally would start bouncing the balloons, having fun, bouncing them back and forth between each other. And so Wanda would stand there as they got into it, and all the circles now were bouncing balloons. And she'd say, "You're out." And they'd look at her. She'd, "Please sit down." And she'd say, "You're out. Please sit down." So they would start to try to adjust and adapt. And they'd say, to themselves, "What's the rule? What are the rules?" So if they saw their person that was just sat down hitting the balloon with their right hand, they wouldn't hit the balloon with their right hand. They'd hit it with their left or their shoulder or their head or whatever. You kind of get that. And so they would keep adapting and adjusting to Wanda, but they didn't know what they were adapting and adjusting to. And Wanda would say, "You're out, you're out, you're out, you're out." Pretty soon the whole room was sitting back in their chairs and they were all angry. They were all saying, "This is a waste of time. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this stupid game?" So Wanda would let the anger sit there for a little bit. She's very, very good timing and very smart. And so she'd sit there and they'd sit there and she'd lean into the mic and she'd say, "I want you all to know," she's from Missouri. She'd say, "I want you all to know what it's like to be a student in junior high school. There are about 1,500 rules, but you only know one or two of them." She captured the frustration. And then we went on and talked about self-esteem. I like that because it was very effective. She was effective. We had a really good time. But the point of the story is to notice that about life and about your own struggles and your own challenges with self-esteem.